process. We're gonna show you how to make vinyl signs with your cutting plotter. But before we begin, I just wanna make a few announcements. We're gonna wait for people to log in. Is it okay? Landscape?
Yeah, it is. It is perfect.
Okay.
Let us know if you guys can hear us because, as you can see, we are live and happy to be here. Haven't done this in a bit, so we're
Yeah.
gonna try to give you an idea. As Luis said it, we're gonna give you an idea for those that are trying to get started, get an idea of what materials and equipment and the whole process of how to apply those decals or what other products that you can make with a vinyl cutter.
Okay. And yeah, of course, we're going to talk about all of that. And I want to make some announcements too. I want to let you guys know if you are an RDI Gold membership, we're about to introduce a new update on the decal calculator because somebody mentioned that, we should have one that you can customize your formula on how to price. So we're about to introduce a new update. And so stay tuned for that. That's one of the announcements. The other one, we want to thank you guys so much for your support because the channel has grown so much and we have been gaining so much support and likes and views. So thank you guys. I finally see a few people connected. Okay, that's good. That's good. You guys, I'm going to introduce you, my brothers. Of course, Saul, you come here, so. He's going to explain everything, the whole process. Again, we're going to talk about how you can make vinyl signs with your cutting plotters. So go ahead, Saul.
Yeah, as Luis said it, well, Nacho's going to be in charge of the camera. Hopefully, he can capture most of what's going to happen right now. And the reason I chose this angle is because, for today's video, if you guys are thinking of starting your decal business and you're not sure which vinyl cutter to go for, obviously depends on your budget. Because as you know, there are so many kinds of different vinyl cutters. There are like the small ones, like, let me hold it. I mean, this one is so small that I can hold it with my hands, unlike the Graphic. Huge difference. And just like everything, unfortunately, each vinyl cutter has a pro and con. The good thing about the Cameo is the price, obviously, compared to the Graphic. Right now, let me get the list because I noticed the prices went down a little bit on the Cameo. I'm talking about the Cameo cutter. So right now, the Cameo cutter, I looked for it. It was on Amazon. It is $249. I mean, you can find different prices, but that's like a starting point. $249 just for the vinyl cutter. But if you decide to go for a better vinyl cutter, a faster and a bigger one, which would always be the best investment that you can make. I know it's a little pricey, and this one, although we have the old version, we have the Graphic CE 6060. This is the one we have, but there's another, a better version, which is the updated version, the 7060. That one's about $1895. I'm talking about US dollars, obviously. So very close to 1900. A little pricey, totally worth it. We love it. The reason we have the Cameo, or we've been using the Cameo, is because we wanted to make different content. We wanted to be able to get to more people, and that's the reason we are making videos with the Cameo as well. So if you guys want to check out our channel and see us using the Cameo and what type of products you can make with the Cameo, which is basically whatever we make with this in a smaller version, you can do with the Cameo cutter. All right, so about $300 and about $1,800. And if you decide to get the Graphic, one of the things that we recommend is that you guys get this software. This one is to vector our logos. It's a little pricey. Let me get the list because I don't want to forget. I don't want to lie. I don't want to tell you the prices or wrong prices. But so as I was looking on Amazon, I saw the old version, which was like 2020, and it's about $300 one-time payment. They have like a monthly fee, monthly payment subscriptions, but honestly, I would go with the one-time payment. And the new version is $549, $549. It's a little bit more expensive than than The Cameo is like $300. So if you decide to get the newer version, it's gonna be like almost twice the investment, but it's totally worth it because if you guys get this, the Corel Draw, you can use it. I mean, we've been using it with Cameo. We use it with the Graphic. We know a person, or Eduardo, he owns a Titan vinyl cutter. We have videos about that vinyl cutter. And he uses the same software, different version, newer version. But yeah, this software, if you decide to get the Cameo, but later on you decide to upgrade to the Graphic, you can use the same software. So always remember that you have to invest in a vector software. All right, and now for the type of vinyl that we use for our projects, we use the Oracle 651 vinyl. Depends where you get it from. There are different prices. And we're not gonna cover anything about shirts, heat pressing shirts, but this is the HTV vinyl, Caesar Easy Weed. This one's a little bit more expensive. And since we, after so long, we found our perfect market, which is making decals. And that's the reason, if you go to our channel, most of our videos are about decals, because we are also always thinking about making content, and we are always looking for the product that brings us the most revenue. Obviously, the car decals is the answer, because we want to be doing both, you know, making content and also making or finding the best product to make more money with the less effort and faster. And the type of transfer we use is the Art Tape Clear Choice AT 75.1 is the one we'll be using for today's project. And yeah, unfortunately, we didn't have time to add the links to all the products, but if you go to one of our older videos, make sure you stay tuned.
We'll probably add them when we're done with this.
We're gonna add it. If you watch this after it's been aired, you will find the links. All right, and
we're gonna answer your question, guys. We got a couple of questions, but yeah, go ahead. You want to keep going, or you want?
No, I just want to finish with the coloring guides,
go ahead.
Especially for the people that are just getting started. If we go to our garage, which we're not gonna do because we got a mess. No, when we first started, we kept buying all different kinds of colors. And if you go to check out their colors, they have, like, I'm just gonna use an example, like let's say the blue color. See how many different tones, how many different shades they have. And same with yellow color, red. So in the end, we invested so much money in different colors. And now what we do for, let's say for the blue colors, we only use like we have two different tones. We have the light blue and the darker blue. I think it's royal blue, actually 3 different colors. But instead of buying 5 or 6 different colors that you're not gonna end up using, you know, that's why we recommend that you guys get your coloring guide, because you will get exactly an idea of what you are gonna get instead of just guessing which color you're gonna get. Because believe me, if you were to compare the colors that come here with the coloring guide, if you compare them, what you see or what you will find on the web, they're gonna be totally different. And these are 100% accurate, okay? So just to put it out there, and the same with the HTV vinyl, okay? And yeah, so I guess this is it for, at least for the intro, you know, for the things that we wanted to cover. Now, we're gonna start cutting the vinyl, or do you wanna?
Yeah, a couple of questions. We have a member, gold member. Thank you so much. In Spanish, ¿cuánto venden los imanes? How much do we sell the car magnets for? Well, it depends on the size. Like the ones we're gonna make are 24 by 14. Those here in Indiana, we price them for the pair. We sell them for pairs. So it's like $120 for the pair of 24 by 14, which is suitable for like trucks and all of that. And we have bigger ones for 30 by 22, and those are $180. Again, that's the pair. And another question, Clear Media Marketing, awesome. Another one, Laurent, hello from France. I don't know if it's France, it says French. Well, hello, greetings to all of you from whatever place you're watching. We appreciate you guys here. We encourage you guys to give us a like if you like this video, and if you find information that's gonna help you with your business. We appreciate your support. Clear Media Marketing again, CorelDRAW X6 Vector Software. I need a logo decal. Another one, Plush Adventure. Your channel has been so helpful in my growth. We appreciate it. That's why we do this content for you guys. We really hope that we can always help you and that you can also help us by, sharing and liking.
Mutual.
Thank you.
Before, are you done with
Yeah,
the
we're
comments?
done.
Okay. Well, the thing before I forget, because I'm getting old, I always forget stuff. But before we move on, the things that I want to mention about the prices, several things that you got to consider. First of all, the design. The customer already had his logo, so we didn't have to make it from zero. Another thing is that it's just the design is just one color, as you will see pretty soon. And also, we made yard signs, we made car magnets, and I think in the past we made T-shirts for them. I'm not 100% sure. I think it had been a little bit that we worked with him. But so those things, like he bought several things from us, and that's when you can, decide if you want to be more flexible about the prices. And yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to mention.
And one that I skipped, a question from Plush Adventure. Will you ever offer pricing calculator for sale? I don't know if you mean for you to sell you the code for your website, or I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't get the question, but yeah, that's something we can offer in the future, hopefully near the future. And another one from Clear Marketing. Do you offer an affiliate program? We actually have an affiliate, link
Or
with
store or
Amazon, US Cutter, all the links that we use that we provide for you guys. Of course, we're affiliated with them, so we get a commission, and that'll be a good way for you guys to support us. We appreciate you.
And see, that's one of the things I also want to mention is that, like some people asked in the past, how come we are offering or talking about certain vinyl cutters, and it doesn't matter which vinyl cutter you guys end up getting, we will make a commission. So that's like with the Cameo cutter. The reason we talk about that vinyl cutter is because we've been using it for quite some time, and we know that it works. It might not be the best for that price, but honestly, like, we haven't tried the US Cutter, vinyl cutters. Like, there's all kinds of different vinyl cutters, and it would be hard for us to say that Cameo will be better than X brand. So the reason we show it is because we know it works. We know that it's worth the investment, and those are the reasons. But honestly, the Graphtec, you cannot go wrong with the Graphtec. But again, if you have $2,000 to invest in just the vinyl cutter, that's not considering the software nor the equipment. That's why, like, it's good to have an option. But I guess, can we, it's time
Yeah,
to
go
move
ahead.
on?
Let's.
Okay, all right.
We don't want to make this video way too long, too.
Yeah. Okay, so if you can move the camera on this, because I'm a right-handed person. What I'm about to do, I'm going to align the vinyl, and let me show you the type of vinyl. Is a 24-inch, and is obviously you can see the gloss finish, and I'm going to align it, although the decal that we're going to cut is not that big, but I just want to show you what we usually do when working with our designs. Like, when it's a big decal, we always align it. We have the alignments. The cutter has the alignments here. You just make sure that the vinyl looks aligned, and I think it looks good about there. And even if it's not aligned, just want to give you an idea. Just pay attention to how much the vinyl moves here. As you can see, it moved just a tiny bit, but again, this is the last decal that we have to cut, and it's not that big, so we can work with that. I'm going to send it right now. I'm going to wake up my computer because it went to sleep. Now I'm going to send it. I have all the settings right. It is hard to tell you what settings you must use because it depends on how old your blade is, but at least we have it on offset 0, speed 36, acceleration 1, cut force at 12. And let me make sure that I only have one copy because I don't want to make more than one. Perfect. And always check your settings. And I'm going to send it now. And give it a few seconds because our computer is a little tired from working all day. And see, the vinyl moves just a tiny bit, but again, if it were a bigger decal, then I wouldn't send it like this. And just wanted to show you the basic idea of how you go about aligning your vinyl. And we're gonna let it work. We're not gonna bother our machine because, you know, let's just let it do its job. And now we're gonna start weeding out. And let me show you the back of the vinyl so you guys can see that the brand is actually Oracle 651. And as we start weeding out, and by this we mean getting rid of all the extra materials. I think if we can move the cutting mat out of the way for now, because we're gonna need it in a bit. But I just want to show you the process of how the wooden boxes work.
And we have videos in YouTube, as we mentioned on the previous videos, that we have a couple of them and on how we add the wooden boxes using CorelDRAW 6 manually, or you can use the CM3 if you have a Graphtec.
Okay, now we're gonna show you the wooden boxes, but for our phone number, we did something which is like negative, or I don't know what the proper way to say it. Basically, it's gonna be the opposite of what we are doing right now. Right now, what we have here left are the letters, but for the phone number, you will see what we have to do.
And the reason why I do, especially I do on my designs, negatives like you're watching there, is to give the customer an impression that you are giving him two colors when in reality it's just one color. It makes it look not so, you know, like
Plain?
plain, yeah, is the proper word. It makes it look more, I don't know, catchy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also about the cool thing about this design is that it's all one color. Sometimes I used to, like when we first started, like I used to think that to make a cool design, you would need a lot of colors, lots of details. This one has a little bit of detail, but it's not too bad. We've done worse. And we're gonna be really careful with this section here because we have all the details are in this section. And as I was mentioning, the bottom part we did was the weeding box. I know right now, and most of the time we have more than one person working with our decals, but this is a good way to make it a little easier if you are working by yourself. I know that some people are not as lucky as we are to have a lot of family, a lot of relatives, a lot of brothers.
And here's a tip. If you guys are going to sell magnets this size, this is probably the biggest magnet we sell. We try not to sell bigger ones because if they're too heavy or too big, they might fall off, you know, when the van is moving. So these are suitable for like construction vans, which are very common here. The type of business that we do is very common. Those the GMC or the Chevy Express, and if you're going to sell car magnets for those type of vans, construction vans, the proper size will be 30 by 22.
Yep.
And the artwork was really easy because the customer already had the artwork, so we don't really have to do much, just vectorize it. And I think it is an older customer. He has worked with us before years ago.
Yep. So this is basically, we're finished with the weeding boxes, with the weeding process. Now the next step will be to apply our transfer, which we're not going to do because we have all of our products, so the magnets and the yard signs ready to apply the decals on, because as Luis mentioned, we don't want to make this video way too long. So we already measured our decal is exactly where we want it. And now I'm gonna get the cutting mat back because the desk is a little glossy. It's like really slippery, and this helps to have some.
Yeah, we don't want to mess it up in live.
Yeah.
You know what they're gonna say? What kind of professionals you guys are?
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, that's how you learn. You know, by making mistakes, not on purpose, but.
They're happy accidents.
Yep. And I know that if we only had one person working on this, it will be a lot harder. But you can always use tape. You can always find a way to make it easier for you to work if you are doing it by yourself. And the tool that we're about to use is the cutting knife. And I recommend that you guys always look for different tools to make your life easier. This one is a perfect example of that. The cutting knife, it helps a lot. And the reason we use it is because especially when you are working with directly to on cars, is you don't want to risk it. You don't want to damage the paint. You don't want to scratch it. And that's the reason we use it. And one of the questions that we get also is about how to avoid bubbles. And this is a way to do that, to avoid them. If you saw me, I was going faster than usual because that was one of the mistakes that we used to make. We used to go really slow, and we've noticed that when you go like that, when you do it really slow, that's when you end up with a whole bunch of bubbles. And if you guys want to avoid them, make sure that you do it like I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to see, like once I start, I'm going to keep on going. I'm not going too slow or too fast.
With confidence.
Yep.
And yeah, that's, well, once we remove it, this yard sign has like little, I don't know what they call
The
them,
ridges?
like ridges. Yeah. You might see some that might appear like bubbles, but they're not really. It's just I guess the surface
The
of
type
the
of
yard.
surface,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they haven't messed it up yet.
And see, yeah, so am I.
And while they remove the transfer, just remember if you use the AT75, it's a high-tack transfer. So be very careful. Don't be reckless like these guys are being right now. They're taking too much risk right now. And by the way, we have Nacho with us assisting.
Yep.
And yeah, there's the yard sign. Now they're gonna do the car magnet, and pretty much they're gonna do the same process. And while they get the magnet ready, I'm gonna answer some questions. We're gonna ask, well, Plush Adventure, I would like to purchase the calculator software instead of becoming a gold member. Well, right now, of course, the intention that we have is hopefully in the future, the near future, is to turn that calculator into an app. But right now, it's what they call, it's just a code for like WordPress websites. If you have a WordPress website, we can provide the code for your business. That's all we can do for now. Hopefully in the future, like let's say, we can not only like sell memberships, but maybe sell the app like, you know, many places do. Another question from Dar0350. ¿Cuánto cobran por los yard signs? How much do we charge for the yard signs? Well, the yard signs, we used to sell them for $40, but now we sell them for $120. So that way we encourage them to get
Minimum.
minimum. It's both sides, like the one they made with the metal stake included, in both sides. Yeah, and 3 of those for $120.
Oh, the only time you can be, or at least for us, that we can be flexible when it comes to like how many yard signs. First of all, how many colors? Second of all, do we already have the design? Do we have to make it from zero? That's another thing that plays a big role with when it comes to selling yard signs, because again, like it wouldn't make sense to just sell one yard sign for $20, and if you had to make the design from zero, you would spend a lot of time, unless the person wanted to spend like $120, $150 for just one yard sign, which wouldn't make sense, honestly. And like this customer in particular, let's say he wanted a certain amount of magnets, but he also wanted to add like a couple yard signs, then we will be more flexible because we already have the design. All we have to do is just readjust it to that product in particular. And I mean, that's when we are a little bit more flexible when it comes to quantities. But again, it's best if you have like a minimum, so your time is worth, you know, all the investment and all that you're gonna invest to create or to make the yard sign.
And here's another extra tip for you guys. Of course, making money is good and it feels good, but when it comes to marketing, at least for us, as you saw, they just did a yard signs, 2 sides. That's worth making 2 car magnets. The same time, the same process. Only difference is that we make more money from the car magnet, like that one that he's making. Just a pair of those 2 little ones for the same price as the 3 big ones, which is 24 by 18 yard signs. So it's like making 6 magnets for all the same money, $120. I mean, that's the only downside, but you know, it's business. You cannot sell them. I guess you could. You can try sell them more bigger price, but again, you gotta consider the competition. So you always want to make that sell too. So, but when it comes to advertising, we number one, car decals, and the second one most advertised in our local areas, the car magnets. So.
Yep. All right. So now let's work on this magnet. And the cool thing about what you just saw, we're not doing anything different. It's basically the same process, same materials, just a different product. Like instead of a yard sign, now we're using a magnet. And that's what we said, like we make more money while making the car magnets than we do with the yard signs. But I mean, if you are just getting started and you just want to quit working, it's always good to have an option. Like, like the happiest day for me was when I learned or I discovered that I could make what I was making working at the restaurant, even if I had to make 3 shirts. And depends on where you stand. If you're just getting started, wouldn't it feel good if you could make yard signs, even if you spend the same time that you would working for someone else, but you were doing it at your own time, at your own place? At least for us, that was priceless. Yep. I mean, obviously, if you keep thinking like that forever, it's going to be, I mean, you're not going to get too far. You have to keep on getting better and always aspiring for different things or bigger things. And that's what we are doing, right? So sometimes for us, when we have to make shirts, I gotta be honest, like for me, it can be a little bit of a pain having to make t-shirts. But again, I always try to remember that, like at least we are doing it from the comfort of our home. We don't have to leave the house. We can just do it at our own schedule. I mean, to me, that's priceless. Again, when you're just getting started, that's how, I mean, I don't know if you agree with me, but that's how I used to feel,
And it doesn't have to be painful, even if it's t-shirts. I think a long time ago, I made a video about how not to make like too complicated designs, because that is probably one of the biggest mistakes that beginners do. They please the customer with everything. They don't give them limits on designs, on colors, and in the end, if you do your math and all of that, you're not gonna make any money. Probably, maybe just a little bit, but it'll be a lot of work. It'll be. I talk on that on a recent video about customers and all of that. So always have a limit to try to pick the easiest way for you. Don't struggle. It doesn't have to be painful. You just gotta do the right design and try to tell your customer not to put too much information, because sometimes they like to, like, it looks like I don't know, it looks like a lot of
billboard,
like a billboard. There you go. Especially Latinos. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm a Latino. Before you criticize me, I'm a Latino, of course, but most of the Latino business, they like to put a lot of stuff that I always suggest don't try to not get rid of that, and so that way we can make the number bigger, the most important information bigger, what matters. Because if you put a lot of information, people are not going to be able to read it. I'm a lazy person. If I'm on the road and I see a yard sign and too much letters, I'll probably look away. But if it's just, big, bold letters with a bold number and right to the point, then it's going to be a success for that, person that's doing the advertising. So.
And like this one, this is a perfect example. See, it has the name, the main information, like what type of services they do, and the phone number. That's like pretty much all they need, and it is a lot easier to read it from far away, like Luis was saying. And that's where we come in, like your customer naturally, he's not into this kind of business, so he has no clue. So he's gonna do what he sees other people doing. So that's why it's always good to give him an idea or suggestions. You're not gonna do what you want, but in the end you have to like
Be flexible,
Be
yeah.
flexible, yeah. So you can always suggest, like it'll be better if instead of having so many services, your phone number can stand out more instead of having like 20 different services. But again, if in the end he wants that, what can you do, right?
I'll be flexible unless they're willing to pay. If they're willing to pay, then yes.
And okay,
Money talks.
now, when it comes to like what type of materials or products you can sell, I'm just talking about using vinyl decal. Like you can make obviously car stickers or car decals. You can also make the yard signs. You can make the car magnets that we just did, but you can also make banners. That's another of the products that we don't really offer too much, but this is a great option too. I know like some people said in the past, oh, this is not professional, all kinds of different opinions. And the only people that never complained was our customers. They never complained about this. And we have so many returning customers. So we have more people on YouTube complaining about this process than actual customers. Obviously, it would be better if we owned a digital printer, if we could print directly. I mean, we wouldn't have to go through all this process. But again, if you have a vinyl cutter, come on, guys, like you just gotta make the best of it. You just gotta make, like whatever products you can make with it. Why limit yourself?
So pretty much what Saul is trying to say is, would you rather do that or go back to flipping burgers?
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm
nothing wrong with that. But if you're like us, you get to a point where you just get tired, like you're not willing to do it anymore. You're willing to, take the risk and give it a try. Like when you get older, like you'll be happy that you gave yourself a chance to try it. Even if it doesn't work, you'll be happy that you did. I mean, that's how we looked at it. And that's the reason we decided to go for it and risk it and look where we stand. I'm not saying we're killing it, but I'm saying that we are getting better every time. And it's all thanks to you guys, because you guys are also helping us with what we wanted to do, make videos and also monetize them, and which we thank you for it.
And yeah, before, I think that pretty much we cover most of it, and you can see the yard signs there. I'm gonna try to get on the frame. Yeah, but like I said in the beginning, we really appreciate you guys, all your support that we've been getting all these years, and we're finally gaining some subscribers and views, and it is all thanks to you. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. I mean, we'll be making just car decals, but we like to share the knowledge, and hopefully you guys someday, here's my personal advice to you. There's no website, there's no social media that can make you more money on selling your product than you sharing your knowledge and then making money from that. So, that's the best way that you are going to, make good money. Of course, it's gonna take time, but we encourage you guys to also make YouTube videos, because you never know. We have been, people have been asking for our services on YouTube too, which is, it is probably not known for that, but it happens. So that's my advice to you.
And the way, I guess the way you can look at YouTube is you don't really have to do what we do, like showing the process, but you can also use like a before and after, more like advertising, if that's not your thing, if it's not into you, like making tutorials and what we do. But if you want to just advertise your services, like we said it, we've made a lot of sales through YouTube, even though it wasn't really our focus. Our goal was to make videos and monetize them by helping other people, and we weren't really thinking of making any sales. I mean, we were open to it, but it's not like, it wasn't really our goal. But look, it happened, like we've sold a lot of products through YouTube. I was gonna mention something else, I forgot, I'm just getting...
He mentioned earlier that he was getting old, so yeah. I thought he was bluffing. I guess he wasn't.
It is true, but I'm trying to think. It was kind of important, honestly, but if maybe I'll just leave it in the comment if I think about it.
Well, yeah, I think this covers everything, and if you guys, hopefully we answer some of your questions. We're gonna keep uploading more content for you, good information. So again, before we go, let me just make this announcement again for those who didn't get it. If you're a gold membership, we're about to introduce the new decal calculator, which you can set your or customize your own formula with the one that's already there. But this was made thanks to some of the members that suggested that we should provide a calculator where you can set your own formula for pricing at your own price. So we'll soon update you on that. So stay tuned.
I finally remember what I was gonna say. I want to bring the phone up close and show you, like when you apply decals on yard signs, you end up with more bubbles. This magnet is bubble free. It doesn't have any bubbles, and we applied the vinyl the same way. And the yard sign has probably like 1 or 2 bubbles, and the magnet doesn't have any, or maybe one, just a little bit, 1 or 2 compared to the yard sign. That's what I was trying to show you. That way, I mean, the reason I'm doing this is because if you guys decide to start making this, I don't want you guys to freak out and you know, like freak out that you have a few bubbles, but they will disappear. As we've said it in the past, you know, they disappear. Yep, so just make sure that if your customer says something about them, just tell them that, you know, they will disappear. And yep, I mean, we always do our best. We try not to have any, but so far we haven't succeeded. We always end up with 1 or 2, but you know, you just gotta keep trying.
Yeah, we're gonna appreciate all the comments you guys left. One last one from Clear Media Marketing. When it's the next YouTube live? Well, it's you never know, because we haven't done too many, but hopefully soon. We'll let you guys know probably next time before we do one, maybe a day ahead. We're gonna leave a community post and let you guys know that we're gonna go live at certain times.
Or let us know when is the best time for you guys.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, because we want to get an idea. You know, like we've been trying to pick the best day, but it's a little complicated, you know. And so it would really help us if you guys give us an idea when would be the best time to do it.
Yeah, and yeah, this is it. Thank you guys so much. Nacho coming to the frame. We want to thank you guys, the team of RDI. We really appreciate your support. And yeah,
thanks for helping us get to 10,000 subscribers.
Finally. Yep. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Leave your comments, questions if you didn't get this live below. See ya.